think the best part of what we just went through with the coaches and learning a little bit more about the do's and don'ts and how to walk through this whole process is more or less the social media. That's my biggest takeaway. What to like, what not to like, how to set up your social media account. Should you put your name on there or a fake name? So I had a lot of takeaway from that. We don't have social media right now for my boys. And as we set those things up, I will implement a lot of those talking points that they spoke about.
You know, with that said, now is the perfect time to teach them and implement those things that you're learning from Tom George. And at this quarterback camp, you all had the opportunity to go through an entire recruiting seminar.
Sure.
What was the takeaway from that you were going to, leave this camp, go home, talk to your grandson, talk to your sons? What's the takeaway that you're going to have with your sons whenever you go home?
I believe that when we go home with the boys, there's a lot to impart that we got out of it. I believe that they're in a session right now, which is really cool because they speak to them on their terms, pretty much about what we heard as well. But they talk about the networking. They talk about the importance of not pinning all of your dreams on D1 schools, but there are other pathways to get to your goal. Some of these boys, all of these boys want to go to the NFL naturally. It's the dream. But there are a number of ways to get there. And also the importance of their academics and their social networking, the way that they operate and the way that they conduct themselves with other people and building those relationships, whether it's people in their classroom, their coaches, just their peers. All those things matter because it's just like life. It's a life teaching opportunity with this Quarterback Impact Academy camp. These boys will learn, and like you said, our boys are very young, so they have the benefit of hearing this and having this reinforced in an early age as compared to some other boys who come in late and may have already gone through other programs or not gone through any program and not learned these very important skills that they're teaching here.
Right, and with that said, having such young guys, what do you think at such a young age, it's known as the reality and recruiting seminar, What do you think is the most important thing that Tom brought up that was being realistic as an athlete for your guys at such a young age? What do you think is the most important thing for them?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm going to piggyback on what my mom said, but just that D1 is not the most important thing to have their sight lines on, and your academics are number one. So we all know that we have a love for football here. That's why we're here. But your academics have to be stellar in order to go and get a scholarship, unless you just want to pay for your own education out of your own pocket. But who wants to do that, right? So focus on those academics, buckle down, and make sure that that's your number one, and all these other things will fall into place as they need to.
Well, I'm also going to say, just in addition to that thought, that the academics, your rigor and your abilities in the classroom will translate as discipline, and that translates to the football field. Just like the discipline on the football field. Don't be late. Be respectful of your coaches. Learn to be respectful of the other players who help you out. You're not a one-man team.
Right.
You've got other people around you, and to bring them up along with you only improves your standing and your abilities. So that is a discipline issue and a respect issue. Those two things go hand in hand in the classroom and on the field.
Right, and one last thing for y'all. I know that as a parent, as a grandparent, sometimes it's really, really hard to kind of take yourselves out of the equation and be, out of the equation when it comes to recruiting and letting the coaches and guys do what they do. What did y'all learn that kind of has helped y'all understand the need to take yourselves out of it, let the coaches do what they need to do? What have y'all learned, and how do you think you're going to use that going forward from this camp?
Oh, Coach brought up that, if you're filling out, for instance, your child's paperwork, then clearly they don't want it that bad. So I've always been a really big believer in letting your kids figure it out and let them find their path. And I think that kind of just reinforced that too. So if they have the passion and if they have the want to, they're going to step in and they're going to do it. They're going to go up to a coach that they've always wanted to meet and shake their hand. You can't be behind the scenes telling them how to walk through life because you're not always going to be there. So this has been an incredible camp, and they have touched on a lot of points that we will take home and work on at home. How to handle yourself and how to speak in public to people. we've lost a lot of that. And I think this camp has brought that back together and into focus for a lot of these kids.
And let me just say, she is a fantastic mom. She does, on a daily basis, make them and allow them to do it themselves. And she's encouraged that in her boys. I was not that good of a mom. I had 4 kids. And I always was like saying, okay, let me help you with that. Or let me step in and make it better.
She did.
And yeah, and I can make anything better. But that's not the point. When you're helping them and making things better, you're not allowing them to take ownership. And that's the
Right.
one thing that I have failed or succeeded at with different kids. And so with my daughter Iman, I've noticed that she has done it much better than I did, yay for her. And she's allowed her boys to be themselves, own whatever it is that they're doing it, and feel like it is theirs. And so they take it in a different way, and they press forward out of the love for what they're doing, which is really a blessing to watch. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing. You know, working on the quarterback impact side of things, I think it's incredible to have a mom and a mom to a mom here at this camp, because it speaks to the value of family that we have here. You know, quarterback impact is one huge family, no matter where you go in all the different camps. So I think that it's absolutely incredible to have both of you, and I'm really, really thankful that I had the opportunity
We're glad to be
to
here.
interview you guys. Well, thank you guys so much.
You
Once
bet.
again, I'm Abby Goodman. That is at Abby with 1B here on Twitter.